how to cut fresh Minox film and how to reload the Minox cartridge. What do you need? You need a film cutter. This one is from Camera Hack. I'm gonna put the link down below. And you need a fresh roll of 135 film. You need an empty canister. I use the packaging for the film that I cannot load right away. We need a Minox cartridge and a packaging for that. I need some clear tape, and I have some 8mm tape, and I have 10mm tape. I'm gonna come back to that. Then I have scissors, and I use the old film. And if you don't have it, just cut a piece of string of 58 centimeters, because this is the length for 36 exposures, which is the standard within the Minox system. Once you have all that, you also need a darkroom bag, a changing bag, something that's light tight, because all I will show you here has to be done inside the bag. Of course, I'm not going to do that because then you would have a black screen, so I'm going to do it in daylight. What's the first step? Open the cutter. I have here a Minox insert, and the beauty of this system is they sell different cutters for different systems, and I'm not sure if it's light tight when the lid is on. I never used it that way. I always used it in a darkroom bag. So if you want to test that, make sure you have enough film, because it could be that you wasted all the film. Based on that, we're gonna use some clear tape to combine the fresh roll and the empty roll. Doesn't have to be neat, as long as the connection is very strong. Then we take out the handle, and the connection is in the film roll. If you put it in there, then you can crank it, put the rolls in there, and when you crank it, you will see that the film is tightened. Now here are the blades, and what I always do is I put my thumb behind the blades, so not on the blades, because you will cut yourself. And once you have the first slits in there, you will see that it will cut the film. And then it's ready to put the cap on there. Once you have that on there, then you can keep cranking it until you feel that all the film is cut. So I'll keep doing that. Now I feel some resistance, so I know I'm done. I'm going to take the cover off, and what you see is I re-spooled this one, so here's a little bit of tape got stuck in there. Take this off, and we can put the film cutter aside. Now we have these two rolls, so the side with the fresh film, we can cut the film there. And then you have 4 strips. You have 2 perforated, that's the waste, and you have 2 Minox film strips. Now, again, this is in a dark bag, so we're going to take all the film out. And once you're at the end, this one ripped. But what I normally do is I take about 5 centimeters. I cut everything off. I'm gonna put that roll of film aside. I'm gonna take the perforated strips because we're not gonna use it. Take those out, and then you're left with 2 strips of 8mm film. Now I always separate them, so we got 2. And then you want to cut the 36 exposure length, again 58 centimeters. What I often do is if just half the film. So if you put the ends together and you cut it in half, so go to the opposite side and you cut it there, then you have a little bit more than the standard 36 exposures, but I don't mind that. I just stop at 36 and I do that with the other one as well. So again, take the ends, put them together, go to the opposite side, cut it there, and now out of a standard roll you get 4 Minox films. Now what I do is I take these, I make them a little bit smaller because I want them to fit in the canisters of the film. So you just roll them up. And once it's rolled up, I take a little bit of tape, and it doesn't really matter which width you take. You put it on there, and then I put it in the canister. I do that with the other two as well. Then you close the canister, and this is light tight as long as you use the black ones, and you can keep it, label it which film is in there, so I know I have the rest of the Minox film light tight and safe in the canister. Then I have one left and I want to re-spool the Minox cartridge. So what I do with this one, I make it a lot smaller, because I want to make it fit on the right side of the cartridge. And again, this is all in the dark or in the changing bag, because it has to be dark, otherwise the film will be overexposed and cannot be used to take photos again. So you get better and better at it the more you do it in the dark. Now, a lot of people say you cannot touch the film, they wear gloves. I don't like that. I never saw my fingerprints on it, so I just do it bare hands. But if you want to use gloves, do it. I just like the feeling then. So if you put it on this side, you make sure a little bit sticks out, and then you can let it go and it will stay contained in that. Now, I always pull a little bit out like this. Then you have a cap with a hole in it and you have a cap without a hole in it. So the closed one I put on there, and I take a little bit of tape and you close it off. Because if you don't do this, the caps are very loose and they will fall off very, very easily. A little bit too much tape. Make it a little bit shorter. So. Once you're here, and this is all doable with just your feeling, you can take it out of the darkroom bag. Once you have it in daylight, what you can do now is take the take-up spool and some tape. And for this I always use the 8mm. I put it on there. Then I take a piece of film and I tape it to this one. Once it's taped, put it to the slot on the other side. And you will bend this a little bit, but don't worry about it. It's strong enough to handle that bend. Once it's in there, you take the other cap and place it on there. And you close it. Then take another piece of the tape. Tape it. And now you have reloaded the cartridge. Now, these cartridges aren't light tight, so always keep them, always change it to the camera in the shade and keep them in the original packaging. You put them in there, close it, and it's ready for use. Now, I've been doing this for quite some time, and I label them always with what film is in there. And when you open this, I also put a sticker on there, so I always know what film is inside there. The originals used a printer, that's what these markings say. I like to use just a simple sticker on there, so I know what's inside there. And that covers how to cut the film, so you get the right size for your camera, and how to load a cartridge. And then you still have 3 new rolls in the canister. Good luck shooting!